Hello, I'm Witty and welcome to a Hearthstone gameplay commentary. Yep, I finally managed to get myself a beta key apparently. It's a little bit of a funny story and I'm sure I'm going to upset some people already when I start to tell it. So let's go ahead with this story and let me just start with the fact that I have been sorting out my account, aka sorting out passwords and all of that, updating it all, putting it all on my spreadsheets, and yeah, my Battle.net account is attached to a separate Gmail, not the one that I normally use for checking my emails. And this might be the slight clue that you're getting right now. And so I decided to have a look at that Gmail account, and lo and behold, apparently on the 15th of October I received an email from Blizzard saying welcome to your Hearthstone beta key. And I'm like, oh, oops, I've had one of those, have I, for 12 days now. It's the 28th, so technically it's 13 days now, but I realised this yesterday, late last night, and I thought, ooh, I better do something with it. So we're going to make some gameplay commentaries, and you can feel free to sit on down by the Hearthstone and feel free to join me in my noob-tastic adventures in this game, because I'm not a card player, naturally, and I'm new to this style of game. I'm somewhat familiar with it, but I've never really played it. I'm aware of the whole Magic of the Gathering and stuff like that, and people that are into that sort of stuff, and it's certainly interesting, but I've never actually delved into it myself, and here I am to do it. So last night I logged on just to make sure that the whole thing works, and had a little few playthroughs, and I got, well, let me just start off. When you start this game, this is in beta phase at the moment, so you have your menu, and all your menu is pretty much options. You can sort out your resolution, the quality, and full screen, and then the volume. That's the volume I need in order to control the sound and have my voice above the game, because if you have this at maximum, it's very loud, especially with headsets on. And this button here, you can't see any text there, but that's credits, and that one's cinematic. So I'm not going to click on either of those, otherwise that will take me out of this, and that's not what we want to do. So that's pretty much your options, and otherwise it pretty much launches you straight into a fight against an artificial intelligent opponent, essentially the campaign. So I think this is the 3rd or 4th level now in the campaign, and there's about 6 or so. So I figured that I'd play the first few last night just to get a little bit adjusted to the game, because I've never played it before. I've never really paid too much attention to other people's streams or anything like that, because I didn't so much want to get into it until I had it for myself. And now that I do have it, I'm willing to get into it. So yeah, shall we start? I mean, I've got a fair understanding of what I'm doing, but like I say, I'm still a big noob at this, and there's going to be a lot of things that I don't understand, but what I do understand, or what I think I understand, I'm going to try to relay to you as well, and we'll go through it together and see how we get on. But you can pretty much assume that at this stage in the game, where you're just playing against the artificial intelligence, it's like the tutorial stage, so you can't really lose. You can probably lose if you play as bad as possible, but that'd be almost funny to see, is just to deliberately TK yourself and just play as badly as possible and see if it is possible to lose. But the game gives you a few guides during this phase. Apart from playing against the artificial intelligent opponent, aka the tutorial / campaign, you can play against an opponent online, and then you have the arena. The arena is grayed out. You pretty much need to get a level 10 hero of each class, I think, before you can even touch arena. I'm not absolutely certain, but I think it said that. So once I've completed this campaign, I'm going to move on to playing against actual real life opponents, and see if they're as bad as I am, because I've got a lot to learn in this game. So as you can see, you've got a little green border around this, and the game gives you subtle hints as to what you should be doing, which is obviously a good idea since I'm completely new to this, and this is more or less a tutorial. So Murloc Raider, he costs, I can't really point to you, well, you see the little blue crystal with the 1 just at the top left of the card. That represents your mana crystals, and when your turn starts, you'll gain a new crystal and fill empty ones. So on your first turn, you only have 1 mana crystal, 1 out of 1. So this is the only card I can play. I can't play this card because that requires 3 mana crystals. So now if we have a look at the Murloc, you can see that at the bottom left of the card it has a little 2 by a sword. That's the damage he does. And his health is on the right hand side, the bottom right, and that is 1. So if he gets hit by anything that does any damage whatsoever, he's going down pretty much. So this is the only card we can play, and this is your hero basically. If she goes down, loses all of her health, then she's out of it. So the game starts you off with Jaina Proudmoore, the mage. So this is the mage class you're using, and you come across various unique opponents. I believe I just beat Millhouse Manostorm, so that was quite good. He was very annoying. But you can see your enemy's hand. Let's have a little look at the table. At the moment I'm not constrained to time, but I believe when you play against an opponent you're going to be on a time limit. So if we have a look at the enemy's hand, your enemy's hand of cards, players draw 1 each turn. So this gives you little clues, little subtle hints. This is the mana crystals that your opponent has. He has 0 at the moment because basically I get to go first. This is my go. Now that's my enemy's deck. Your opponent draws a card each turn, and this is my deck. You draw a random card from your deck each turn. If you click on this, it does nothing. It's just simply when you end your turn, a card will go to your opponent, and then when it's your turn, a card will go onto you, and you can select the cards, or rather it's just given to you. This is your deck. I mean, I've not got to the stage where I'll create my own deck, but I assume that, just say for argument's sake, there's 60 cards there. You randomly get one of those cards out of the 60. So, yep. Let's start off with our Murloc Raider. So we drag the card anywhere onto the table. Just let go, and the Murloc is there. You got jobs done. I'm not sure if that's an inclination, a little voice sample to let you know that you've definitely finished with your go. But as you can see, there's a green highlighted. There's green highlight on the end turn. But if we have a little sneak look on the left-hand side of the table, you have the history. This is a log of the game events. So you can see that I've placed down a Murloc Raider here. This pauses the game by the looks of it, or blacks out the screen. So I'm not sure exactly what that represents. I guess it is a pause of the game because everything just kind of slows down. Now, the Murloc, once you put it down, you cannot use that card. You have to wait until you've ended your turn, and on the next turn, then you can use the card that you placed on the previous turn. So we go to end turn. And as you can see, it's very clear. Enemy turn tells you what card they got.
Monkey's throwing bananas at me.
And if you quickly notice there, the crazy monkey chucked a card at me. Now this is the first time I've seen this because I'm very new to this, and I've only done a few of the levels in the campaign, as I've mentioned. But you got to go with the subtle hints that the game gives you, especially as a new player. So this guy gets a go. Now I've got 2 crystals. That means I can play both of these cards. And obviously we probably want to use the banana card, which gives a friendly minion +1/+1, so +1 attack, +1 health. And if we have a look at the Murloc, you can see that he's got 2 attack and 1 health. So if we use that banana card on him, that's going to give him 3 attack and 2 health. Now why is that a good thing? Well, the reason why that's a good thing is because the enemy has the crazy monkey card, and he has 1 attack and 2 health. So if I pit my Murloc Raider against this crazy monkey, they're both going to die, pretty much. Because when I throw my card at the monkey, this is what I've noticed, is they basically have almost like a real-time battle, in a sense. It happens in the game, essentially. You don't actually see any of this, but when this guy fights this guy, it's not like he's getting a hit and not being retaliated. They actually have a fight. So if I do 2 damage to this guy, he's going to do 1 damage to me if I drag to attack. And that's going to kill my Murloc card. But if I use this banana card on my Murloc card, that means that when I do go to attack him, I'm not going to lose. Because as you can see, there's a little clue as well, is you've got a skull upon both the cards. This basically lets you know that if you use this card, my card is going to die and his card is going to die. However, if we use the banana card on my Murloc, you can see he's got 3 attack, 2 health. Now if we drag to attack, only the skull icon is upon the opponent's monkey card. And my Murloc card looks pretty safe. So let's have a look. Remember, he's got 1 attack, the monkey card, and my Murloc has 2 health. So if we have him hit him, they fight each other. Do you see what I mean? That's what I was trying to get, because he's now down to 1 health, whereas previously he would have died if I didn't use that banana card. So now we have the Stone Tusk Boar, and we're free to use this card. So chuck him out there, but he's going to be asleep for the time being. Or I assume so, unless certain cards can attack immediately. That's what charge means, because every card has a certain ability, and apparently charge allows you to attack straight away.
Job's done.
So I could just do that. But other cards, generally when you place them down, they will just stay there. And the nice thing is, you've got this little animation above this Murloc Raider, and I'm just discovering this. I've not seen this animation before. A lot of this I'm going to say what I think as it goes along, but we've got a little animation here, and I assume that little yellow crystal animation raising is a clue to let you know that the card has received a buff. And you can see underneath the Murloc card it says bananas. This minion has +1/+1. Now we have a little look at our log now. So that was the first card, Murloc Raider. Then you see that the enemy, it's got a red outline along the little symbol, so we can assume that that's the enemy's move. Then the blue is my move. Then we've got this little attack symbol, so we can see which 2 cards faced against each other, and I assume that the card on the left is always the one that initiates the attack. So it's Murloc Raider versus Crazy Monkey, and Crazy Monkey died, and Murloc Raider just lost 1 health. And then I have my charge account, and slightly above that you can see that my Stone Tusk Boar has done 1 damage to whoever this guy is supposed to be. King Mukla at the top left, I can see it now. And now we can end the turn.
You crazy monkeys.
And you have a little bit of banter between like the heroes. They do like to mouth off quite a lot,
Just barrels?
as you can see. I'm not sure how the monkey understands, but there you go.